What is going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Wednesday, December 30th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. In today's video, we really want to just go over a bunch of different topics. We want to answer a few questions that you've sent over the last few days. We want to talk about where the game is now, and hopefully the direction the game is moving in. Now, if you happen to be visiting our channel for the first time, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out. So as we start this video off today, I think, the core of the Division 2 community is in a pretty decent place right now. And the reason I say that is this. I think you're in one of three groups. You're either, a loyal player from the beginning, you're just coming back, or you're brand new to the game itself. Now understand, as I move forward, I'm not glossing over any of the Delta issues or crashing or things like that that are going on. But what I'm saying is, right now it seems that the group of people playing are people who are actually enjoying the game at this point. And I say that knowing that a lot of you, including myself, was really disappointed in the fact that they turned Codename Nightmare into an apparel-only event. However, it does seem that as of recent, they are starting to trend to put things in the game that are actually keeping players wanting to play. And on that note, my friends, we are going to get into the last global event, Golden Bullet. I know I had so much fun playing that event. Like, it was the first time where I actually wanted to log in, go directly to the global event itself, and from all the feedback we saw online, so many of you felt the same way. Now, I know I mentioned in the video on Monday, I think I said that, I hope they extended it. I knew that was a long shot. I didn't think there was any chance they could. Plus, it does mess up the next Manhunt, things like that. However, with this season, there are a few other global events on the way, and I'd be very surprised if they did not switch one of those to the Golden Bullet. And the reason I say that is simple. It is the first time, over the last week, it's the first time that I've looked on Twitter and in the different forums, and I've seen so much positive feedback about the game. Unfortunately, most of the people who comment on the game don't have the best things to say. Now, to be fair, a lot of people are going to complain just to complain. However, it was so nice to see so many players talking about the fact that they're playing it, they're loving the game, they haven't logged in a while, this is something great, it's something that they hope they bring back, and that's something that we need in this game right now, is that excitement for players to actually log in and play. The next thing we want to cover today has to do with the vendors in the game. And first of all, a lot of you have reached out asking what is the best way to find the Snitch, which, as we know, that is the only way you can gain access to the gunrunner Cassie Mendoza. And in my experience, and this has worked for me pretty much every time, all I do is I fast travel to the 1040 safe house. I'm going to go to the location you're seeing on the map right now. Now, one thing I want to point out is you want to make sure there's no territory control or world event going on in that area when you get there. My recommendation is when you're in the safe house, open up the map and see if there's any world event going on. And that also holds true for if you get to this area and the the Snitch is not there, reset your control points, it will send you back to the safe house, and that usually works within 1 or 2 attempts. Now, once you talk to the Snitch, the gun runner will be available the next day. So as you can see right here, she'll be there in 5 hours, and that's when I'll be able to go there and see the type of loot that she has to offer. With that being said, I now want to talk about the quality of loot that the vendors have been selling recently. And a lot of you have reached out saying that you've noticed over the past 2 or 3 months that the quality itself seems to have dropped a lot. I have noticed that as well, my friends. I think typically on a week, I try to do the weekly vendor resets every week. It's getting a little hectic for me to do that. However, one thing I notice is that if we go back 2 or 3 months, there were usually 3 or 4 things on a weekly basis that you definitely wanted to pick up. Not only that, but the quality of the actual items seemed to have been a little bit higher back then. However, regardless of that, I recommend you're checking out the vendors every Tuesday morning, seeing what's out there, because it's all relative. You will find something that you either need, or now, remember, you still have the option of optimizing that item. Which now, my friends, brings us to the topic of optimizing your weapons, and I think it was this week, or no, I don't know if it was this week, it was probably last week, but anyway, the point is I mentioned the fact that the game did put out a message saying that they were going to change the amount of things we needed in order to optimize our weapons and gear. Now, the way they referenced that had to do with time. They said basically it's going to take you less time to optimize something. Now, the only way I see that being possible is if they made the cost lower, but again, they haven't done that as yet, and it's something that they will hopefully put in the game soon. As most of you know, the state of the game has been on hiatus because of the winter break. Now, we haven't heard anything as yet, but I'm hoping it does return next Wednesday, and if that's the case, we should be able to bring you some more updates on the game at that point. Moving on, my friends, we are now going to talk about the new Manhunt target, which is Kestrel. That became available yesterday as well. There's nothing really new to talk about in regards to the Manhunt. It's pretty much the exact same thing that we've done for all the other targets. Now, I have not gotten to the point where I have reached the main target. However, I have heard from a lot of you saying that you've gotten to him and the guy's just tweaking out for some reason, like just totally bugging out. It doesn't seem to be affecting your gameplay. You're still able to beat him, but for whatever reason, it's just one of those bugs that are going on in the game. One friendly reminder real quick, and this is really geared towards people who are new to the game or just returning. Right now you do get double XP, but you only get that double XP for the first 15 shade levels you gain. After that, it automatically turns off. Next, my friends, I want to talk about farming territory controls. Now, some of you may know I put out a video a week and a half ago, something like that, and I was showing you a few of my favorite territory controls to farm because you can get a ton of XP in a short amount of time. However, one of the issues that some of you are having is that the territory controls wouldn't spawn, or more importantly, they wouldn't even be there on the map. So one week they'd be there, the next they were gone, and one of our subscribers actually brought something up which makes total sense. And I'm actually looking through my notes now. I cannot find his name. I apologize, sir. I would speak your name right now if I had it written down. I have it written down somewhere. But anyway, the point is this. On certain weeks where the Black Tusk have invaded certain areas, those territory controls will not be available. Therefore, as I recommended in a previous video, always have 2 or 3 territory controls that you can hit up anytime. They can be in DC or New York. That way, regardless of where the invaded area is, you always have access to a control or a territory control that you like to run. Finally, my friends, I want to talk about loot quality, and I have personally seen a huge improvement in loot quality, but for me, it's strictly been with running control points on Heroic, and I'd love to hear your feedback down below on the best ways you've been able to find loot recently. I mean, you'll see in a moment as I go to pick up some of the loot, I've gotten 2 God-rolled pieces, 1 LMG that's completely God-rolled with all the attributes. I can just change the talent if I want, and recently I've been able to find a lot more of these items than before. However, having said that, I still have terrible luck in the summit. Like, no matter what difficulty I'm running, whether it's heroic or legendary, I mean, sometimes with legendary I'll get decent stuff, but it does not seem to be as high as it should be for that level of difficulty. So if you don't mind in taking a moment and letting me know down below, where have you been finding your best loot? What difficulty has it been on? Has it been in the summit, in the open world, control points, missions, whatever it is? And as always, we'll definitely pass it along, and later in the week, we'll go over the details. On that note, my friends, I think we're going to start to wrap this video up. As always, I want to take a quick moment and thank you all for your continued support. You guys have made this an absolutely amazing year for us, and I cannot thank you enough. As most of you know by now that have been watching this channel for a little while, our channel will be 9 months old as of January 4th. We're about to hit 7,000 subscribers, and my friends, this thing is just getting started. We have a huge announcement to make at the beginning of the year, and again, I am so thankful you are part of this gaming family. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you happen to be new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this, feel free to hit that like button as well. But most importantly, as always, take care, be kind, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.